listening to Goof On Radio with Rich Giordano.
My personal belief is that there is very compelling evidence that we may not be alone.
There has been and is an existing presence, an ET presence. It's not going to make a difference. It's not going to change reality.
I believe, as do the other folks that were on the flight, that when we visually saw it, that it was something not from this world.
Goof On Radio.
You were either in or you were either out, brother.
But the cream will rise to the top, oh yeah.
Goof On Radio with Rich Giordano.
I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
Goof On Radio.
Remain seated, please. Permanecer sentados, por favor.
You're listening to Goof On Radio with Rich Giordano.
Hello, boys and girls. How you doing?
And then reverse course and go back 180
We still have the
degrees.
video going on.
Is not.
Welcome to Goof On, everybody. Oh, got a hair hanging off somewhere here. That's right, everybody. It's Sunday. It's Goof On You. Welcome to the University of UFOlogy through the eyes of someone who knows everything you need to know. Breaks the rules, makes the rules, changes the rules. That's us. And you better believe it. We're going to teach you not to make the same mistakes I did. We won't take too long doing it. I mean, how hard is it? Just don't be a dick in other people's eyes. It's impossible. Once you're already labeled, no matter what you say, they'll swear. Did it? Zip it? We'll talk about that soon. Oh, there's so much to go over. We'll also finish up yesterday's Corbell Rogan interview because, well, why not? We only went through half of it, and it's fun, and I like it. I think we're having a good time. Got some Lewisms and other things to go over. Photographs of Maui. Huh? I don't know. I found these photographs. I was going through stuff, and it was when I went to Hawaii the first time. Which was pretty cool. Yeah, landing in Hawaii was the best thing. I never experienced anything like it. Yeah, when you land in Hawaii, you're not indoors. You're outside. We got off on the tarmac, walked up. I'm like, well, there's no doors? Oh, yeah, there's doors, but they're open. The whole place is wide open. At least it was in Maui. And it's like the breeze. Oh, I remember doing this. Ah, it smells so fresh out here. Oh, God, this is going to be a great week. And it was. One of the best weeks of my life. Maui's beautiful if you haven't been. Oh, my God. But they did not like Americans. They didn't. We felt we were being mistreated. Racist. We sat down at this restaurant. I think it was called Umaluka or something like. There was like 5 U's in this thing, and it was like $100 plate, you know, for dinner. So we're sitting down there, and nobody comes up to us for a long time. 10 minutes we sat there. You're thinking a 5-star restaurant, $100 a plate minimum. Somebody would be right on us. 15 minutes goes by. I have to go up and get somebody. I mean, the restaurant was empty, and it was September. So I heard they're just now out of season or getting into season. I can't remember. It was 2002, I believe, when I went. But the first time. So after 30 minutes, a waiter comes over and says, "Hi, may I help you?" Like, yeah, we've been sitting here for 30 minutes. We want to get something to eat. And they're like, "Oh, okay. What do you want?" I'm like, "Well, how about drinks? Would you like an appetizer? I said, "You know what, babe? Let's just go." And he's like, no, I want to be your waiter. And I'm like, "I don't want you to be my waiter. I'm leaving. We're leaving. Have a nice day." And we walked out. And they didn't care. He walked away, didn't even say sorry, didn't say sorry about the wait. "How can I help you?" You know, it's like, all right, whatever. All right, well, let's do roll call. Chris Rogers, £2, £2. Get in there, truth teller. We're gonna get in there tonight. God, tonight. Just how does this even happen? Hold on, I got a text again right at the start of the show. I want to see what my family has to talk to me about. Okay, thanks. Thank you. Appreciate that. £2, £2. First super chat of the night. Chris Rogers, a continuing supporter of Goof On. We'll give you one of these since it's the first one. That's right. We're still using them for a little bit. Thank you, Chris Rogers, for the first super chat of the day. £2, £2. Get in there, truth teller. Act good. Oh, I'm in there. Mucho gusto, generoso. All right. Yep, you can support the show. We live off Super Chat, Super Sticker, PayPal, Cash App, and all the other stuff. All the links are in the description and where the About button is on the homepage of Goof On. So we're going to continue where we left off last night. Pretty much. But we're going to wet some palates before we do that with a little DeLonge. You hear that? A little DeLonge. Sometimes the jokes write themselves. All right, let me go ahead and pull this up. This is just 3 minutes, a minute apiece. It's just, it says mind blown, right? A clip of Tom DeLonge from Steve O's A Wild Ride. So let's have our mind blown. Are you ready? Yeah, you knew it was a TikTok paddywhack. Give a bug a don. Huh?
Help us understand what's the significance of UFOs.
They're not coming from, well, I should say it this way. The significance of UFOs is multiple parts, but number one, it's not what you think it is. It's not coming from other planets.
First of all, I would love to do a body language thing on this right after, so we're going to do that. I'm sorry, but I was just letting you know.
The evidence doesn't suggest that.
Interdimensional.
Yes. And the reason is because time is parallel. It's not linear. Or it's not like we start here and go forward in time. time is side by side, which means everything in the past and the future is existing in this moment, but within different frequencies. So a civilization that's at the end of their technological cycle could build a submarine that changes its voltage and materializes in that same location, just into our timeline.
My goodness. It's comedy gold. He acts like he's the one who figured all that out. Right? Yeah. You know what I figured out? That time isn't linear. It's, I don't know, like this. Linear? Yeah, I think it's linear. Let's watch it again. It's just watch the body language if you can see anything as small as I have it. Watch, he's going to rub his arm in the beginning here.
Mind blown.
Shut off.
Can you help us understand what's the significance of UFOs? Like,
they're not coming from...
See the scratching? Why would he even be scratching? I know the screen's really tiny. I can't do anything about it. That's what she said. Shut up! But he's caressing himself. And he looks right at the camera when he says this. He is giving himself, you know, calm down. Tom, you got this, Tom A. His own body's telling him, Tom A, itchy arm, scratch arm. You don't like this question, but you're going to make something up. Let's hear it.
Well, I should say it this way. The significance of UFOs is multiple parts, but number one, it's not what you think it is.
There comes the fast talk. Number one, it's not what you think it is. Ooh, got my attention with speed talking. You ever hear these people? They do that nowadays. Whatever you're doing, don't tell me anything I can't say. Anything I want to say, it's up against me. It's me against you. It's you against me. It's my life, my body. No shaming. Stop it. You know, they get all fast. That's not how people used to argue. People used to just go, shut the front door. You're an asshole. They talk slow, methodically. Now they go, let me tell you something. I only have a few minutes left in my life. And what I want to tell you is, it is very important that the faster I talk, the more it means. It's meaning more the faster I talk. The faster I talk, the more it means something. Don't you get it? That's what Tom DeLonge and these millennials do.
It's not coming from other planets. The evidence doesn't suggest that.
Interdimensional.
Yes. And the reason is because time is parallel. It's not linear. Or it's not like we start here and go forward in time. Time is side by side.
Oh, he got that from that movie.
Which means everything in the past and the future is existing in this moment, but with...
Oh, did you see his mouth? Oh, I don't know if you can see it when he says it's existing
in
and
this
he gives
moment,
a
but
snarl.
within different frequencies.
He gave a snarl.
Which means everything in the past and the future is existing.
Right there, you can see it. The friggin' play button.
Existing in this moment, but within different frequencies.
Let's get to the next one. Tom DeLonge. This is too easy. Next is part 2 of that silliness that Tom talks. I like Tom on the outside. I hate Tom. I really don't like Tom DeLonge. Not very many people do. Everybody acts like they do, right? They all act like they do. Do you remember when Lou was with him? Oh, no, that was Corbell. Oh, no, Lou was with DeLonge in that TV show Unidentified. It looked like Tom DeLonge was Lou's son, you know? It looked like Tom was just sitting there in the passenger seat while Lou's driving. Lou had to drive. You can't let a maniac, you know, drive the car. So Lou's driving and you got the kid in the passenger seat. And on that TV show, it looks like they just got in an argument and that Lou told him to shut up and don't open your mouth the rest of the trip. You see Tom sitting there like this. He looks so like defeated, and Tom just looks like his dad just talked to him, gave him the law, man. That was so funny to watch that show. I'm watching it again, actually. I'm watching it from season 1, episode 1. I'm on episode 3.
They started showing up at the time we did nuclear weapons. They're not here to protect us. Because that would be like not interdimensional. That'd be from like outer space.
No, not interdimensional, because the one thing we found out is that the EMP wave from a nuclear blast kind of travels through multiple dimensions. So it's like that
What? That is not true. There's no evidence. Is there evidence of that? Is there evidence of that? Oh, did I not finish roll call? Zach Dacast Monsieur, welcome to the show. Rebecca Wiles, welcome to the show. I already did that. Mind blown over UAPs, welcome to the show. Denbub, welcome to the show. Marie Jose Sproul, Josie, welcome to the show. Sorry, I can't believe I stopped doing it. I got sidetracked. The super chat, and then that's all I did. Yeah. Sorry. Flubber Lane's here. Welcome to the show. Wiles is here. You like that? FGraph72, welcome to the show. Kenneth Lewis, what's up? Nah, you're not late. We're just a little. Foghorn Leghorn, welcome to the show. Kenneth, welcome to the show. All right. Hey, yo, Van Staden, how you doing? Welcome to the show. I can't help it. Let me say it. Van Staden, welcome to the show. Shut off. Dave Bailey, welcome. Hey, Dave, what's up, man? How you doing? Welcome to the show. Now I'm on board. Samo, Goofoni, and Rockstar, welcome to the show. Billy Nice, welcome to the show. Look at this photograph. It was me and you one day. I gave you a kiss, okay. Scott Archer, welcome to the show. Chris, hey, what's up, man? Been a minute. How you doing? Good? Great? Sunday? Welcome to the show. Mr. Catfish 2100, welcome to the show. All right. That's good. We got to go because I already started. Nathan Allen, Nathan Nitsky, Nathan Hot Dogs, welcome to the show. I can't forget you. And Into Thin Air. How you doing, Chief? What's up, B? Good to see you. Metalheads here. Welcome. Shelly Michelle. What's up, Shiem? Welcome to the show. I don't know what I'm doing. Alien Critter. Now we're done. Welcome to the show. Nope. New name popped up. Deckard. What's up, man? I like how... Nah, I'm not even going to say it. Hey, Captain. What's up? Captain Mig. 26. Richie, sent you an email with some questions. I know, I saw it. I just got it. I can't get it. I read it. Yeah. I will. Tomorrow I will if you want. Well, you know what? Maybe I'll do that now. I mean, we're not really into the Tom DeLonge. Here it is. Oh, yeah, that's right. You did have quite a bit for me to read over. Yeah. Let me see. Oh, right. I don't want to read it on air. Do you think no, you were asking whether or not I said Corbell pressured Bob Lazar to do this movie. And he did. He admitted he did. And there's an interview, there's a couple where he said, I think even on the Joe Rogan show when they were on together that he said, I kept pressuring and Bob said, no. Right, Bob? I just wouldn't give up. That was kind of annoying. Bob said, yeah, he convinced me to do it. Anybody can. But whether or not Lazar was harassed by the CIA for years and doesn't seem to have shaken the guy, put him into hiding is interesting, right? All of a sudden, that Bob Lazar story, and this may be the biggest thing of all, is how it started. Bob Lazar said he went public because he was afraid for his life. I just listened to it on an Art Bell show, which I'm going to play a little bit of it. But he said he went public so he wouldn't. He thought if he went public that whoever was trying to murder him would lay off now that the story got out. So if he did get killed, now the story's out and people can blame the government. You know how. That's the story. Let me tell you, if they wanted him dead, they would have killed him. I don't really believe the story that Bob Lazar and his life was threatened. Nor did I believe that he heard gunshots or when he came out of the gym, his ID was sitting on the console, of his, his Camaro, whatever he had, and the doors were open, the trunk was open, and his Uzi was sitting on the... They wouldn't let an Uzi sit on the seat or a console of a car in a parking lot of a public facility. Somebody could easily walk by and go, frickin' gun, Uzi, boom, doors open. You see why that doesn't make sense? I came outside and I saw, oh, that's a sign. Oh, man, they were trying to give me a warning and it worked. I'm telling you seriously, I thought I was going to die. Nobody buys an Uzi to defend themselves. Only gang members do that. Anyway, that's part of what I think about what you asked. You said you don't think Corbell is smart enough or intimidating enough. No. George Knapp was involved too, you understand. It wasn't just Corbell. It was Corbell and Knapp. And Knapp coerced him to go public back in the day. Or did he? Or did he think he did? Actually, I think that was Bob's idea. Well, I decided to go to George Knapp and met him. I think Bob Lazar was set up from day one. I think John Lear was his father and didn't tell him. They look a lot alike. He got him in there to Area 51 to tell his dad, without knowing they were father and son, that here's what's going on inside of Area 51 and us 4. Yeah, it's tough. Nobody's going to know the truth. Yeah. And it's all convenient how he came out when all the big hoopla with the 3 videos, Elizondo, TTSA. Yeah, of course. It's all a psyop, man. No, you're not cynical. You're exactly right. People love the spotlight, and a little bit of power gives them a lot of love. I thought I used to like Knapp, and I like Lazar because he hasn't really changed his story, but Corbell's not the mastermind. It's Knapp. He could be look, there are bad liars and there are excellent liars. If you have not started to watch Lie to Me on Hulu, then you're not going to learn much at all. If you want a fast course in human behavior, you can go watch that show, Lie to Me. They go over everything in that show. It's great. I'll have to throw down some books throw some books or DVDs out for you guys to look at. And this way you can see how I learned, and, it's not an easy read, but the DVD might be better if there is one. All right, I'm going to finish this. I went off because I wanted to answer that. If I didn't say hello to you, it doesn't mean I don't love you. It means, we got to do the show. And I just wanted to finish roll call and answer that email on air, since I was talking about a little bit of DeLonge and Lazar and all that stuff. All right, here we go. Finish this up.
Energy is fucking up whatever's in that location, and maybe those people are like, what the fuck was that?
Hold on, let me start that over.
Interdimensional, that'd be from outer space.
No, not interdimensional, because the one thing we found out is that the EMP wave from a nuclear blast kind of travels through multiple dimensions. So it's like that energy is fucking up whatever's in that location, and maybe those people are like, what the fuck was that? Let's materialize into that other timeline.
All right. So if a nuclear bomb, like when we tested the bombings, what am I saying? When we tested A-bombs in the deserts, that was like, first of all, when that was first learned, somebody came up with the idea, maybe it was a beacon. And we sent a signal out to the universe where if there are people or aliens with this technology that can scan everything, like our NORAD can supposedly check all of the Earth for incoming objects. Same thing. Aliens probably, hey, what happened on this little planet over there? It would just look like a little asteroid hit. I think, right? So they had to make it to where guaranteed the aliens would know about it. If there's multiple dimensions with the blast and the nuclear and you know, whatever's in there that makes the nuclear explosion, makes it toxic, that severe explosion enters into other dimensions. So let me ask you this. And does what? Nobody tells us it goes what it's doing to the other dimensions. Well, that's why the aliens came over here, to see who's knocking on the door. By the way, they set off an atom bomb which created a tidal wave in our ocean. And we had to tell everybody it was an earthquake. Come on, man. Nobody has ever told us. It's just a convenient thing. That's all. And yeah, it's a theory, and that's it. There's no proof. I love when they use that. Oh, they went into, well, I think there's 12 dimensions or 70. I don't know. Something about more than one.
Get those motherfuckers to stop. But the reality is, too, is UFOs have been around forever. Like, you're talking biblical, you're talking religions, you're talking
the pyramids.
The pyramids. You're talking the Star of Bethlehem is not a star. The sun is big. The Star of Bethlehem is like a little ball of light that 3 dudes on horses followed for days, and it hovered over a manger. So think about that. What is that? Ezekiel's wheels, you know, Fatima in Portugal. All these religious events are always the same thing. And you got to then go, well, what are they doing? What is happening from that? Well, we start cults. We go crazy. We create different religions. We have different belief systems. We get really scared because they prophesize the end of the world. They tell you that if you do something wrong, you're going to go burn in hell for eternity. But if you listen to what that voice is in your head, that's God. So do that. And then someone hears a burning bush and they go and start a religion. You know, it's like holograms and technologies and making people not be together, you know, making us think that there's a dude like Allah or Jesus that created the universe versus source intelligence. There's just like your bandwidth, your fiber optic cable just to like consciousness, which is like the one power that powers the atom, that permeates everything.
What? I gotta listen to that. I really tried to understand it.
You know, making us think that there's a dude like Allah or Jesus that created the universe versus source intelligence. There's just like your bandwidth, your fiber optic cable just to like consciousness, which is like the one power that powers the atom, that permeates everything. And we're all from it. But
what?
As long as we think it's a dude and that group over there thinks it's a different dude, we're going to hate each other. Right. And we don't really evolve and we don't really grow spiritually, you know.
So we're all connected through a consciousness fiber optic cable, for lack of a better term. We're all connected consciously to this universe. So we don't really have the will, we don't have free will then? So does that mean everything's already planned? And I am getting the impression I'm in free will? Can I read other people's thoughts? That's how the psychics work? Is that what I'm hearing? We're all connected somehow to this universal consciousness we call a God, but really it's the Big Bang. I don't know. I really don't know. I feel like that in a weird paranormal type of way, we are part of some consciousness. I hate using that word. I just think we're all part of something. And I'm not sure it's a consciousness. Could be. You know, it could be. I can't deny it because I don't know. And the things that I've been experiencing the last couple of years, year and a half, especially the last 10 months, it's been eye-opening. Yeah, it really changed the way I think. Actually changed me. Physically, mentally. I'm a different person. In a way, I am. I wish you could read and feel what I feel. See, that's what I want. That we could actually focus on each other and I could I mean, people call them empaths, but I'm talking real feeling. If I'm standing next to you, just by your body language alone, you can tell somebody's not in a great mood, whatever, sad, It's very hard to hide that. But I want to know if you're in another room and we're connected somehow, either through love or through our child or family, I should be able to feel that. And I'd be like, oh, wow, Rebecca, what is wrong with her? Oh, no, she's crying. And then I'd go upstairs and say, what's the matter? Oh, you're laughing. You're not crying. I thought you were sad. I am sad. Why? You don't want to know. I don't know. I'm just saying. I don't know why. I don't understand women. Tell me why. I'm just crying. No, I'm just using that as an example that I don't think we're there yet. Maybe that's why the aliens are around longer, because they're still trying to put us all together. I don't know why I picked your name, Rebecca. It's nothing personal. It just came out that way. Gray Lancer. That, to me, I think is a $10 Sweden? NOK. Thank you very much, by the way, for the support. That's phenomenal. Like, really phenomenal. So I'm going to give you this. I don't remember you supporting the show that way. So I think that your first one, it might be your second or third. I don't remember. I'm sorry. But let's do this anyway for you. Thank you, Gray Lancer, for the $10 NOK Super Dono. Like, I'm confused. Mucho gusto, generoso. Giddy up. Thank you very much, Gray Lancer. Super Dono, man, that's just pure love right there. That is pure love you sent. It's okay. It's okay. We can say that. It's all right. It's pure support then. Oh, I'm looking for part 3. See, this is weird. Why doesn't it pop up on my screen? Well, now it did. Wow, this is so bizarre. All right, let's see if we can get a chuckle or two out of this. Damn it, we might have to go 2.5 hours tonight. Maybe 3. Might have a 3-hour night. Oh, I can't. Shit. I'm just going to skip over.
For too long, humanity has existed within dysfunctional and polluted
No, I don't want this one.
Ignore...
What is going on? That is so bizarre. I don't even know what that is. Let me see if I accidentally clicked it. There's part 3. I never played it yet. Oh. How weird. I don't know what's going on. It just got really weird, didn't it? It just got weird in here. Something's wrong.
I've learned is that all the secrecy around UFOs was for good reason, because we didn't know what it was. Then we thought it was aliens, and we realized, holy shit, they're not aliens, they're something else. And then we're like, what do? We need to study this, understand this. We need to build a weaponry or something on a way to push back. We got to do something, but it might take like 70 years. And then like 70 years later, I'm like sitting there like, hey, I got an idea, let's talk about this. And some of the people were like, it's time to talk about it. Others were like, it's not time. But it's nature, so we got to kind of confront it regardless. But it's very real. It's insanely bigger than you think it is. It's not just a few things in the sky. It's very, very big. I got brought over to Italy. Some dudes with Italian intelligence and Vatican and UN, they were all there, went to military base, had these briefings, and they showed me a map of the Mediterranean. And what was happening is on the coast of Sicily, all these like apartments were like catching on fire. Like a microwave, boom, some books, boom, like the fucking couch, boom. And so the government came in and they're like, what the fuck is going on here? So they quarantined the area, get everyone to leave, and they're going, why are things catching on fire? They detected these energy beams, energy weapons or something that were coming off of the way out in the ocean in the Mediterranean. So this dude gets he was a colonel at the time, and he was in charge. What they looked out and saw were UFOs were out in the ocean fucking around. So the head of the UFO program and the head of the Italian Navy SEALs get on an unmarked civilian helicopter and just fly out to go see what's going on out there. As they're flying, a UFO pops out of the ocean and shoots their fucking helicopter down. I have the documents on the Italian.
First of all, oh my God, I can't believe this is that clip. I was just watching that episode on Unidentified. And do you remember when they showed the photograph of the UFO behind that airplane, that helicopter? And it was a dot. It looked like a bird. But they were saying, and they even circled it, I can pull that up. It is such a joke. And there's no evidence of that. I know that the Italians are talking about it as if it really happened. I get it. But did it really? Because they said they have it on video and they showed us a still and it looked nothing, absolutely nothing like a UFO would look, you would think, right? It's so embarrassing. I'm telling you. Where is it? I think I got it right here. No, that's the Ryan Graves episode. Man, Ryan Graves. They're all in on it. Yeah. Yep, they're all in on it. It's all, the whole thing's a scam. No, it really is. Everything they're talking about is a scam. You just can't, I can't trust them. You can't. Hold on. Here it is. A craft appeared in 2004 in Sicily. A craft appeared a few hundred meters behind the copter tail. I'm watching it. And it shot a ray that destroyed the helicopter wings. I can show you the photographs. And they whip out these photos. And Lou goes, "That's what I'd like to see." Puts a hamburger down. Here it is. Let me pull this up. And then we'll get into, I'm skipping over the Jeremy Corbell stuff for a little bit. Maybe I'll do it at the end of the show, but I do want to do the goof on you. So this is that, these are the photographs from the helicopter and UFO. If you don't remember, I can't play it. I will get, no, I could play it. But there's the UFO at the top, right? There it is, that dot, right? Now let me get the next one. Let me get a little closer. There it is. There's the helicopter, and there it is way over here. Of course, this is on a screen during a TV show. But it looks nothing like you think it would look like. It looks like a bird. When I zoom this in, it looked like a bird to me. This, and look how they show it on TV. They give you a sharper image, a little sharper of the helicopter, but look where this is. All the way in the corner, obscured a little bit by being in the corner, but it's out of focus. Why? Because they don't want us to see that it's a freaking bird. Like, I blew up this one, and it looks like it has wings. You can't see them. I'd have to blow it up, and I'm not going to do that now, but it is amazing. I have to take a screenshot and blow it up. But that's the big photo, guys. That's the UFO. That's the UFO that zapped the back of this. Now, we don't know anything. It looks like it's flying fine to me. Supposedly, this was taken before it got shot. But they won't show us. And I remember watching this episode. I'm like, why don't you just show the one with the ray coming out of it, if you got that? Well, we probably don't have that. There is video of it. That's why that TV show failed. And that was episode 6, I believe. Yeah, season 1, episode 6. Big old Lou. Big old Lou. Total dots. Man alive. Well, let's get into MUFON University, and then we'll do Joe Rogan at the end with if we have time. I can't go longer than 2 hours, but I'll try to go quickly. Quick? Is it quick or go quickly? You can't. Quickly tells you how fast, because of the ly makes it an adjective of how fast you want to do things. I want to go quickly, right? I want to go quick. Quick is a verb, isn't it? Not an adverb or an adjective. I want to go quick. I don't know. Grandma. What does she know? So you want to be successful, you want to be a ufologist, or do you want to be a UFO hunter? Well, that's the best thing about this field. You could enter it without having any experience, and you can start up a channel and you're on your way. But how successful will you be talking about things you don't know? So how do you prepare yourself to get into this field? I had no preparation whatsoever, other than the fact that for roughly 8 months, 7-8 months, I was recording things that I've never seen before or paid attention to. And it's going to be different for you. I know everybody can, like, some people get in this field because they're just curious, right? But I'm talking, if you want to get in this field and make a living, it will be the most difficult thing you can do. You need to give it full time, preparation, and research, and everything. You can do it at home. You really could. But how credible would you be to your audience if you never had an experience and or never researched anything at all in person, never captured a UFO on video or one you think would be a UFO, have no skills with the camera? So how could they believe you when you're trying to figure out what's on the screen? That's what we have today. We have people that have had maybe 1 or 2 experiences in their lives, and they think they know it all. They do. We see this when TTSA came out, Tom DeLonge. Everybody came out from under a rock to get into ufology. It was crazy. It brought me out of retirement. I was done with the field. But when I heard Tom DeLonge won the UFO Researcher of the Year award, and that Jaime Maussan was going to win it the upcoming year, I'm like, what? Tom DeLonge, are you kidding me? I don't remember who told me. I think I do. But they're like, hey, Rich, I know you're out of it, but did you hear about Tom DeLonge? And I'm like, what? Blink 182? Oh my God, this is going to be bad. But I had a lot of experience at the time, so I was able to come back and grab a little bit of the audience I had left and start going right away. New people here and there started doing the thing, on Spreaker and another platform, and it wasn't even on YouTube. But we were rivaling a lot of people out there. I think you need to have some sort of experience or get a co-host if you want to get into the field of talking about UFOs. How can you have a discussion? And I'll give you an example of one person in this field who I really like, but Kurt Jamungle. He's not well-versed in the UFO community. He doesn't know a lot about the history of ufology. He's learning as he's going along. I'm not saying anything this guy hasn't already said. He knows it. And it's really amazing to me that he has over 100,000 subscribers with little to no experience in the field. It's one of the rare things that you'll ever see. But I'm going to tell you what Kurt did and doesn't do and why he got successful. The things that I don't do. First of all, Kurt, and if you want to be like Kurt, good luck to you. If you can have a channel, you need to get the best guests. How he got these guests, I don't know. I don't know. But he gets everybody, right? And that's why he gets Lou, he gets Linda, he gets Dolan, he gets Gary Nolan. You know, he gets them all. Voorhees, Fravor. How did he do that? Well, because he's very soft-spoken. He's very nice. He's very unassuming. He is genuinely a good person, it seems like. But he will not offend anybody on purpose. I don't do it on purpose either. I just come out and say, get the F out of ufology, which is nowhere close to the language he would use. He would never tell anybody that. That is how you move along in this field. When I first got in this field, I was just like Kurt. I was just like happy-go-lucky guy. I'm like, I can't believe this, man. People actually believe this, that's a UFO, so I guess I captured a UFO. I didn't know any of the bullshit that was going on. And I don't think Kurt did either, which is good. It's good to be, good to not know all the evil shit that goes on, but you can't ignore it. And I know some of Kurt's friends. It's one from the Angry Channel. I'm sure the Angry Channel gave him questions on Linda Moulton Howe. So it's not really what you know is what I'm trying to say. It's who you know in the field. Kurt had to have known some people to get those guests. You just can't come out of nowhere, have 2,500 subscribers and, get every guest you want. It just doesn't work that way. So Kurt had help. If you want to succeed, you can never offend anybody in this field. You can't. Even if it's on accident. You just can't do it. You can't. Because we're living in a world where ufology is 85% male, 78%, maybe, all right, I'll give them a break, 75% certain side of the, not the right, but they're pretty much all left. Left thinking, far left thinking. You know the left I'm talking about. That's who's running the show for ufology. And they don't like that they think I'm a Trump supporter. I'm an independent. I just like smart business. And Trump was smart with what he did. You know what he did. This isn't going to be about politics, but we all know. Don't even act like you don't know what happened in the last 18 months. You know we're in a worse shape than we're about to go to World War III. We've depleted our oil reserves. We've raised the gas prices ridiculous amounts. Everything's gone up. The borders are crazy. There's so much violence. Yeah, it's a much better place. Yeah. If it was, I wouldn't have said that. And that's what's brought into ufology. The irresponsibility, trying to change the language from UFO to UAP. Why? We don't like the stigma. No, you just want to do it your way. It has nothing to do with the stigma. You can't avoid it. And if you say UAP, what's a UAP? Everybody says it's a UFO. Why didn't you just say that? So why even use UAP when nobody knows what it means? Only in your little circle. The general population knows nothing about it. So it's not what you know, it's who you know in this world. Maybe. So you got to know people. Number one, make friends. Don't offend ever. You can't offend anybody. As a matter of fact, don't have an opinion. Don't. If you have an opinion, you can give it, but you got to be extremely careful. See, I don't care. I don't think that's the right way to speak. That's not free speech. And if I'm in a field already 14 years, and Elizondo comes out of nowhere, ruins a lot of shit, even though you think he's doing good for you, anybody who has to tell us that they're working hard and reminding us how hard they're working, nah, it's all bullshit. But anyway, it's not what you know. So you can come into this field knowing very little. As long as you, number two, know people that can get you guests if you want to do a show. Because I don't know how else you could enter ufology and make any money unless you have a sighting or sightings that you sell, which, believe me, people try to sell UFOs on this. It's amazing what I found out. Just 2 weeks ago, some person was trying to sell their boyfriend's UFO videos. Can you give me an example of what one of them would look like? No. You have to buy them. Well, then they're fake. That's all. She didn't like that. No, they're not. He wouldn't do that. I'm like, yeah, whatever. Okay, so you know somebody, right? Even with little information. It's not what you know, it's who you know. Because we've seen that in this field. You just look at Christina Gomez. You can get a show anytime you want. Just, see, and I want to offend, but I'm not going to. You know what I mean. You know what I mean. You know what I mean. Anyway, number 3, you have to have talent. You have to have some sort of talent. You've got to be different. You know what I noticed with all these people? They come out and they do these shows. They're just shooting shit. They're not really giving. I mean, I've watched, well, now I call them trailer trash, but, I've watched all these shows. The Trailer Trash Girls and the Angry Channel. He does the same thing over and over. And you could say the same about me. We do the same thing, but we don't. We don't do the same thing every day. It's different. And I make it that way. Never 2 shows are the same. And I change the format every now and then just because I'm in the mood. I do the show how I feel. And if you can run a show like that, go for it. But not a lot of people can do a show by themselves. Question: do you think you can do it by yourself? That's the third one. Do you have the talent to do it by yourself? Ask yourself this question. Can I research? Can I talk about it? And if I'm going to be an opinion podcast, can I give my opinion on it? That's what I see Kurt Jamungle having problems with because he is still new to this field. Doesn't know everything that we know or, for those of us who've been in it a while. Nice guy. Get great guests. And I tell you what, whoever he knows that gets him those guests, how he did that, good for him. I mean, what he did is truly remarkable. It is. Because, well, Kurt's a nice guy. But he's not sitting here making opinionative shows or really doing what we do here. That's why I said, what kind of show do you want? Are you going to have guests on every night? Are you going to be an opinion show? Or are you just going to run it right down the middle like Dave at Spaced Out Radio? He doesn't like giving an opinion because he doesn't want people being mad at him. So what does he do? He say, whatever, it's possible. Anything is possible in this field, of course. But, when you run away from your own opinions, to me, it just, chicken is what I call it. That's easy chicken radio. Anybody could do that. Do you want to take the road that I took? I'm telling you, don't do it. You better be good at rebuffing a lot of the hate, at having an opinion that actually makes sense. And yeah, I'm just saying it's not easy to do this on your own. A lot of people think it is. Oh, I can, but I get it all the time from Alien Addict tells me. Dave used to tell me that on SOR. I don't know how you do it. I can't do it. I need to have people to bounce off of. I'm like, well, I talk to myself for most of my life, so I think I can do this. Joshua Morphew, rule number 1. Well, hey man, yeah, I would say at this point, if I went back and researched and watched my shows and picked out all the predictions that I made that came true, that would be one hell of a piece, because we nailed it with Lou. We nailed it. We said TTSA won't last 5 years, and it barely did, right? Did it or did it not? 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So 5 or 6 years. Pretty close. I called it. Can't believe it. Yeah. And I said Lou was a bully. I said you can't trust this guy. I was right about Dolan. I was right about Linda and their shadiness. There's a lot of people out there, man. And yes, I'm right about third phase of moon. They turned it around. And I'm not just saying that because we're friends, but they even fit in part of my equation. And I have to admit, without third phase of moon, I wouldn't have had a lot of exposure. I've got more exposure because of them. But you should trust me. I'm not saying you have to, but I'm saying if you do, you might not agree with everything I say. And I know I'm not right about everything. And this isn't even about me. It just got turned into it because of the super chat I'm answering and talking about. But at this point, I think I have to say, why wouldn't you listen at least? Because I'm annoying to some people, I guess. That's it. I see it. I do better when I talk around other people. I'd rather talk to people. But I have a lot of stuff I want to say. So I keep it without guests 95% of the time. Joshua Morphew, $2. I think that's the best super chat of the year right there. Very true. Thank you very much. A continuing supporter of Goof On. Thank you, man. No, you know what? It is a weird, and you know what? You need to have a thick skin. That should be number 1. Thick skin. What type of show are you going to do? What was the other ones? Let me rewind. Oh, okay. You better know somebody, right? You just can't come in here and ask for Lou Elizondo to go on your show. No. It's going to take a minute. You're going to come in with 0 subscribers, you know. If you introduce yourself to other shows that have been around for a while, you know, get some subs that way. Try to introduce yourself, be on other people's shows. You need to do that. If you're going to have a show, you need to go on other people's shows in your genre. And there's a lot of them. Yeah. But what kind of show are you going to do? That's the important thing. Yeah. It is weird. What else? How do you advertise? Well, advertising on YouTube, there's nothing you can do. You're a victim. You are straddled up against that algorithm. There's nothing you can do for it. I don't know. That's it. Oh yeah, and you got to be nice. Yeah, that's what the other one was. You got to be nice. If you want to be successful, if you want to have many thousands of subs, you just can't piss anybody off anymore. You just can't. And I've watched a lot of these people who they never catch anything on video, and they're sitting there, they never had an experience, and they think they can debunk stuff and know what things are just by looking at it. And I'm like, yeah, how many years experience do you have hunting UFOs? Well, nothing. I'm a video expert. No, I don't think you are, because you're wrong. Number 1. Number 2, you're wrong. And number 3, you're not right. You need to have experience. I don't know. It's going to be a lot easier if you can relate to the people in your audience. Give them something they can trust you with, right? Right? If I came in and said, well, let's just use my experience all these years, prove it. Well, I don't know if I have to, but all right. And then, I used to have the website, so I go back to the website that's on the Wayback Machine and show people videos that I've shot. And I even said it, all dots. I don't have anything wonderful, although I do have some good sightings. I learned how to look at the sky, and that's basically what it comes down to. I learned how to look at the sky with skeptical and a realistic eye. Like, I think every time I went out there, I was going to see a UFO. That was my mindset. This is the day. Never once did I go out there saying, God, I hate this. Never. It's always positive. And I did. I wound up catching things that way. But still, probably everything can be explained. I'm not sure how. I really am not. But nonetheless, if you have no experience, you better know somebody that can help you. So you need to go on other people's shows. You better read up, do as much research as you can. I mean, if you're going to have guests on your show, like what if you got, I don't know, you could have anybody on. Do you know how to interview? You're going to need to watch videos on how to interview people, right? I see, and I'm not going to keep saying the name, but I can't help it. But that Gomez girl, and even Kurt Jamungle, they don't really have a lot of in-depth add-ons to questions. Like, if they ask a question, so can you tell me what it was like when you were on the Nimitz? And then they go, up. There should be like, something else that person can ask that is a part of the answer. But they go, okay, now when you were retired, instead of like, hey, I understand what you're saying. Yeah, I remember you saying that. When you were on the deck, you took out those big, what are they called? Those monster mega binoculars. That's the stuff that they don't know. They don't know the intimate details. They just get the basic information and hope that the guest will be exciting enough. And you know what? The audience can see through that. But they don't care in this field. As long as you have the guest they want to see, people will be happy, right? That's all it is. Hey, Lou Elizondo's coming on. 800 people will go watch Lou Elizondo every time, even though he's saying the same thing. So you need to get a guest like a Greer, like, even if you want to get, maybe Nick Pope or Linda Moulton Howe. It's always good to have that in your belt. Always try to get the big guests. If you can't, well, practice on the people who aren't as big as those people. And you know what? There's not that many people that can bring seats, can put asses in the seats, if I could speak. So, that's it. That's all I wanted to say for GoofOn University. What else? I mean, any questions, class? Any questions? I don't know. I know when I see other shows that the guests just get asked the same questions over and over. Oh, he's coming on my show? And what those people do, and I've talked to people who just started out, and they're like, you know what? All I did was just write down the same questions that were asked on the other show, but I'm wording them differently. And that's the problem when you're not well versed in the subject and you're new. You won't know how to ask the questions that nobody else is asking. That's the deal. Like, I wouldn't have Stanton Friedman on. I know, right? Purposely stayed away from it. And I could have had him on. Now I'm sad I didn't. But I said, what am I going to ask him that everybody else has already asked Stanton Friedman? What am I going to ask him that he hasn't already said 1,000,000 times? Well, we want to see you interview him. And I said, yeah, I get that. But my heart's just not into it. Your heart's got to be into it. If you're not passionate about this field, get out. You're going to try to make money in this field and you're not passionate, then you're a fraud. I think that's me. I'm saying it. If you're getting in this field thinking you're going to have a channel that's going to make a living for you without knowing anything, you're a fraud. Hold on. Does anybody else hear that? That is not... What time is it? 8:10 that happened. Ah, it was a loud, piercing noise that wasn't in the headset. I can't think of anything else. Anybody else think of anything? What else can you do? Nothing, right? Yeah, ask questions outside the box. Have you ever banged an alien? That's a great question. Not a bad question at all, actually. Have you ever banged an alien? No. See, if I was going to have Stanton Friedman on, I would like to know about his childhood. But I don't want to prep him. I don't want him to come on my show and I have to ask him, Stanton, I want to know about your childhood. Why? He would say. And I'm like, because nobody knows anything about it. And then he might say, well, if it has nothing to do with ufology. And I'm like, but I want to ask questions about you. Can I ask those questions? See, I don't like that. I want to ask him when he's on the show thinking, we're going to talk about his Roswell and Area 51 and shit that he always talked about. But Stanton, what were you, a bookworm when you were a kid? Did you play with dolls? You know, I want to know those things. Dolls? We never had no dolls in our house. God, if we had dolls in our house, it would be professor, it'd be a teacher. Wouldn't be a doll. Like, we have these guys. Poor Stanton. Anyway, not much I could say in the way of the business aspect of ufology. It's tough. You need to know somebody who can get you through those doors to get the guests you want. Or I think you could literally just email people. Like, how would you ever get Joe Rogan on your show? You can't. He wouldn't go on our little show. He would go on a show that has, 1 million subscribers, probably? Why would Joe Rogan waste his time with 10,000 subscribers? And I think that sucks. I do. I think that sucks. Because I think Joe Rogan would have a good time over here. That was my goal back in the day, was to get on Joe Rogan's show. Never replied. He said, hey, man, you guys can email me. I'll talk to you. Back then he was wide open, but he wasn't. I tried. I thought I was going to get him, too. I really did. That'd be great if we can get Joe Rogan. Never happened, though. That's something I should try the law of attraction with. I'm going to switch this up. I'm going to try to get Joe Rogan on the show. It may never happen. But a guest like that, well, can you imagine? Jesus. God, I would invite him over. We'd do it right behind me. I would set it up, put the microphone right between us. It would work. Since I did go pretty quick through the... there's nothing else I can tell you. The business side of ufology it's now, unless you want to make a documentary, do what Jeremy Corbell did. Make a documentary about something that we could all relate to, or that would be new, that would be interesting. That's what I would do. Make a documentary, right? That's how Crazy Eyes got into it. You could make a documentary on UFOs. Yeah, but you would need to know somebody. So, yeah. Anyway, well, I'm going to play, because we do have time. If I think of anything else for the business side of ufology while I'm doing this, that'll be good. So we're going to continue where we left off on Joe Rogan, Jeremy Corbell. We'll just have fun tonight. Talk about this, pause it here and there, just for shits and giggles. Here we go.
Far away they are, and the kind of equipment that like do this. So it doesn't, like, it's like one photo. I'm so over photos. I'm so over videos, because it's like, it's never good. They're getting better maybe.
But is it because the distance they are, how far away they are, and the kind of equipment they're using to monitor these things in jets, that they don't, all they have is cell phones, and all they have is...
That's what they can do. That's their personal device. So they can photograph outside the cockpit, but how fast are they flying, man?
No, he's wrong. They're not even allowed to take a phone in the cockpit. Right? That's what somebody said here in my chat room who was a pilot. And they said, you can't take your cell phone. Because of the signal, it could mess up the instrumentation, is what I was told. But is that true? Is that true? What's going on? What love is going on in that chat room for Samo? Did I miss something? What am I missing? The fatties are going to have them on. You should get them first. The fatties. They're going to get Joe Rogan on? Them? I don't think so. I don't think so. Who we talking? Rest in peace, Joe Rogan. He didn't die. Connect me with Joe Rogan. I'll give him the address. I'll pay for his ticket. That show alone. Well, you may not have Joe Rogan on, but I would have the largest podcaster on the planet on my show. Yeah, that's about 2,000 subscribers right there, probably, right? Flubber Lane, good impression of Stan. Oh, these guys. That's all I can do with Stan. Oh, you know, these guys, they work out at the gate there. They sure as heck would have known who Bob Lazar was, you know? I know he can afford tickets. No, I can get the money. But that's how you treat a guest that would come over. You don't let them pay for it. You act like you got money. I'll take out a loan if I have to. I can't afford to pay attention, but I could take a loan out. I've got good credit. I just don't put myself in debt. I don't even have a credit card. I have a debit card. But all right, let's finish this off here. Get me talking to the chat room. I'm going crazy. Oh, I know. He just, I think he just went on a trip, right? He just had a trip. I don't know. I saw a video today where it looked like, I'll try and find it. I'll find it. They were talking about DMT and the other drugs that he took. And he says, Ari Shafir, one of his friends, took the DMT and the chemical and all that shit. And he went on his trip for 15 minutes because that's all they last, 10 to 15 minutes. And you're not going to believe it, but it really messed with Ari Shafir. He's a stand-up comic. But he said when he tripped, he thought he was gone for 3 months, had a family, had a job, had friends, and lived as this other personality in another life, in another dimension. And when he came out of it, he didn't know, he couldn't understand what happened at first. He was tripping out that, oh my God, how long was I gone? 15 minutes. He thought it was 3 months. It messed with him for a long time. He was a different person. It took him a while to come back. Like, imagine, I can't imagine that. God, 15 minutes and you were gone for 3 months in his mind. maybe that's what happens when you're dying. Like maybe when people get like shot or get in a car accident, people who die instantly, maybe their brain doesn't shut down the same way. But if you're going to die in your sleep, maybe so you could die, say, peacefully, maybe your brain puts this chemical out there and makes you feel like you're living another life. Maybe another 190 years, maybe another 80 years, but it goes by in a minute of real time. But maybe it does that to you so you could pass to the other side. It transfers your mind, your body, your soul somewhere else for a little while your body and brain shuts down. Maybe you live another life or a couple. But what happens after that, I don't know.
Man.
Right.
And by the way, Ryan Graves, this other pilot, he says sometimes we'd have him right there on radar, but we couldn't see him with our eyes. Other times they wouldn't be on radar, and bam, these two went right, and this fucking cube in the sphere went right between two jets. That's when they got, oh, this is serious. Like, we're going to have...
That comment made no sense. He starts off saying, sometimes we'd see him on radar and not with our eyes, and then sometimes the radar wouldn't see them. And then he goes and tells about how the square thing went between two craft. It doesn't make sense how he got there.
Blimpy fucking thing right there. It looks like it has a payload. There was that weird blimpy fucking thing, right? The radar systems, the new ASA like radar systems are picking these up.
What is this?
You know how you just...
What is this thing here?
Used to have somebody says, I saw something.
Right.
Now you have people that say, I saw something. There's multiple witnesses. They're on a collective radar system and on their personal radar system. And these things are under intelligent control, and they're oftentimes maneuvering in ways that are incredible, but also their duration to sit out there, 100 miles offshore. Like, whose are these magical devices that like do this? So it doesn't, like, it's like one photo. I'm so over photos. I'm so over videos because it's like, it's never good.
How could he be tired of videos and videos and pictures? The guy who delivers the worst of the worst. He's getting upset. He's upset because it's never good enough. Right. But here's a guy who was coming out telling us this is detailed craft showing us swarming activity, and it doesn't show anything. In swarming, when he's talking about the swarming, that's when all the UFOs were swarming all over the other ships that were out in the area at the same time. Everybody was seeing them. But nobody has any photographs. Look at this photograph.
They're getting better, maybe.
I got a UAP, not a UFO.
But is it because the distance they are, how far away they
Tell
are,
me
and the
things
kind
I
of
don't know.
equipment they're using to monitor these things in jets that they don't, all they have is cell phones and all they have is...
that's what they can do. That's their personal device. So they can photograph outside the cockpit, but how fast are they flying, man?
Right.
And by the way, Ryan Graves, this other pilot, he says sometimes we'd have him right there on radar, but we couldn't see him with our eyes. Other times they wouldn't be on radar, and bam, these two went right, and this fucking cube in the sphere went right between two jets. That's when they got, oh, this is serious. Like, we're going to have a collision. So sometimes you get them on radar, and you don't.
And look, he's trying to remember the lie. He doesn't know what he's talking about. I don't like him.
Don't see him. And other times you see them, but they're not on radar.
So other times you see them with your eyes, but they're not on radar. And sometimes you see them on radar, but not with your eyes. And other times you see them on radar and your eyes. And other times nobody sees anything. Yeah, you ran the whole gamut there of everything, all the possibilities, Jeremy. Great. Sometimes you see them, sometimes you don't. Radar sees them, sometimes it doesn't. Yeah, I know a 5-year-old that could have told me the same thing.
It's crazy, man. They call that like low observability. The ability to, that's one of the 5 things that you look at for UFOs. Low observability, right? This idea that it can cloak a signature. So you can see something in thermal, but not in the like in the night vision. You know, they call it, so there's 5 things that should be said. These are the things people look for in UFOs. See if I get it right. So one is anti-gravity, right? This idea of no control or flight, normal flight systems.
Right.
So like normally a cube is not an aerodynamic thing, but it has intelligent control.
Normally a cube. Normally? And sometimes abnormally? So there's cubes that are aerodynamic, but normally they're not, is what he just said. He did.
Right? This idea that it can cloak a signature. So you can see something in thermal, but not in the, like in the night vision. You know, they call it, so there's 5 things that should be said. These are the things people look for in UFOs.
He's so funny.
See if I get it right. So one is anti-gravity, right? This idea of no control or flight, normal flight systems.
Right.
So like normally a cube is not an aerodynamic thing, but it has intelligent control. Okay. The second thing is instantaneous velocity. You've heard of people going, you know, these things going 90 degrees at like 10,000 miles an hour. And we do have tracks of that. We have, you know, recorded tracks of that kind of movements. We know these things exist. The third one is hypersonic capability without signature. So like we talked about. The fourth one is the ability to, I guess you'd say, cloak, or the ability to have, I don't know the exact words they use, but to not be seen, right?
Right.
And then the last one is transmedium capability, which is to penetrate space, air, and sea without any inertial effect. And you get these with UFO reports over and over and over. Silent, no displacement of the air or the water. So those are the 5 things that you look at to say, is this a good case? And the real ones, those are always repeated. Those are the things, man.
So those things are
the 5 observables.
And so the idea is that they're doing something to avoid detection purposely.
Yeah, that's an aspect of them.
Sometimes.
Right, because sometimes it's like they want to be seen. Like some of the calls I get, they'll be like, okay, there's one guy, I think it's to find it. There's a dude, and he's at a secure facility, right? And he sees over the power structure of this facility, a government facility. Well, first,
I can't. I just can't. I can't. It's just... Never mind. I don't want to do this anymore. Do we have to do Corbell? We don't have to, right? Let's do that another day. We'll finish that up another time. I'm just not in the mood. No, I know you guys aren't either. Nobody wants to do this. Should we? It is. You want me to keep going? I know, I've tuned it out too. Tacey, you're right. I've tuned it out because he's annoying. All right, I said I wanted to play Bob Lazar on Art Bell, so let's do that. This is fun. We'll go back a few years and listen to Bob on the Fart Bell Show. Here we go. This is really good.
Welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Thanks, Art.
Gee, Bob,
thanks,
you know
Art.
what? I'm going to start at the end. Why do you hate talking about UFOs?
Oh!
Well, there's a few reasons. First of all, it's gotten pretty old. It's been, over a decade.
Yeah.
And second of all, I'm glad I was involved in the project for a short time, but once you leave that and try and enter normal life, especially if you're peddling your services in research and development, the scientific field, it becomes really tough for people to take you seriously when you're known as the UFO guy. So it's just hard to kind of divorce all that stuff.
That's kind of the same problem that John Lear had, when he was working for the airlines. It finally got to the point where he had to say no more, and for years, of course, he didn't talk at all.
Right. I know he had a lot of problems with that, and I don't know. That's something people just don't take into account.
Got fired because of it, from one airline.
Yeah, that's right. That's what I heard. In confidential, even from it really wasn't that, and that
right.
But that was about it. I think it was to alleviate suspicion and show, several of my friends what was going on.
What was really going on?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He just basically said why he went public and then why he doesn't talk about UFOs that much.
How much,
hates talking
during
about
those sojourns, how much did you actually get to see along with John?
While we were out of the area, or while I was actually working there in the area?
Well, yeah, they're two separate things. No, I meant when you took John and others up there. How is what you saw, was it convincing for those who came along with you? There was no question in their mind about what they were seeing.
Oh, no, there was no question. I mean, John hauled out even though we got much closer in than you can today near the area. Well, I have no idea what it's like today, but at least when I was last in Las Vegas a few years ago, you really couldn't get very far out on the road. But we drove in close to 10 miles, and you can't do that anymore. But John hauled out his Celestron 10-inch telescope, and from there it was quite a view.
Mm.
While we're listening to that, I did want to thank Kelly. It doesn't tell me what your name is, but Kelly with $10 to the Cash App. I want to thank you for that. I meant to mention it before, even though I put it in the chat. I wanted to say it. So thanks again for that. I think I did. But there's Jean-Paul. Fartre. Is it Fartre? I always ask. That's a super dono, $20. Thank you very much. There's no message and no sticker. There's super donation with nothing on it, super dono. Just pure love. And that's okay. That's all right. Thank you very much. Hey, we'll give you one of these. What the hell? Where is it? Come on, in 3, 2, go. Yeah. Oh. Truthology for ufology. Grazie. Thank you very much. No mucho gusto generoso, a continuing supporter of Goof On. Oh, I didn't know that. All right. Let me check on somebody's status here. Another person who was supposed to be a moderator is no longer. I will fix that when I see your name. I don't see it in the chat. So next time you comment, I'll put you back on or find you in another. That's weird. That happened to a couple of people. It happened to Zach twice. It happens. I don't know why people aren't maintaining their status. It's weird. Do they take you off of being a moderator automatically if you're not here? You're here, though. Yeah, I don't know. That is bizarre. I'll fix it when I see you chat next time. And there he is. There you go, bro. Thank you very much. Lantonio just got his wrench back. That's odd. I'd like to thank Jean-Paul Fartre for the $20 super chat. And yeah, that's right. I forgot to beg. I didn't beg enough tonight. I'm sorry. I don't beg that much. I'm supposed to beg, but I don't feel like begging tonight. It's Sunday. Come on. All right, let's get back to the Bob Lazar couple of clips here.
Occur. I don't care if there's a lightning storm or what.
Why is this technology still buried? Have in fact developed. Why is this technology still buried? I tell you what, we're at the bottom of the hour. Hold on, Bob. We'll come back and we'll jump right back into the same place. Some incredible thing to be sure. And Bob, we were talking about the energy needs of the world, and then you brought up weapons, and you betcha. I mean, Do you believe, for example, that they have, in fact, developed weapons using this technology and that we have them now in our arsenal?
My own personal belief, absolutely.
Absolutely, huh?
Absolutely, because I saw evidence of that even when I worked there. Part of the briefing contained a couple hints about using gravity as a lens, or one of the gravity emitters as a lens to focus energy weapons. So, which, to take a step back, if you're particle beams and other energy-type weapons of that sort disperse quickly in an atmosphere, and it's kind of hard to keep a focused, intense beam on your target. But if you can manipulate gravity, you can really change the dynamics of that. So,
what would such a weapon do?
Well,
Well, Billy Nice makes a good point here, but I'd like to just add on it. He says, I don't know, guys. You can say what you want, but I freaking believe Lazar. The dude hasn't changed his story in 30 GD years. No, he hasn't. But that doesn't mean it's true. He as Stanton Friedman said, he doesn't even know where the bathroom is. Well, there's a lot of holes in his story. We just don't know. He hasn't changed his story, no. Joe Rogan said, I think I believe him for the same reason. And when he went out with them to dinner the night before, Joe said, when we were talking, man, I was looking for the lies. I kept analyzing everything he said, and I couldn't find anything. He thinks he's telling the truth. That says a lot. That says a lot. If Joe Rogan believes that, he said he didn't really believe him. And now that he's talked with him, the last time, he believes him. I don't know, man. I just don't know. I still think there's a lot of holes that have to be filled. But if they wanted to kill him, they could have. And if they wanted to scare him, they did. And then he went public. And that's what we're supposed to believe. It just seems too convenient. I mean, you're playing with their life at that point. To go to the news, they should have taken him out right then and there if they wanted him. Well, Bob Lazar wound up missing after he was on KLAX in Las Vegas with George Knapp last night. Their whereabouts of Bob Lazar are unknown, and some are saying a conspiracy is in the works. We'll have more in this story as it arises to us. We'll be back after this message from Douche. What else we got? Tony McClear. Hey, Tony. Thanks, man. That's a $10 super chat, 10 pounds. Tuned in late. We'll catch up in a while. Love the show. Jeez. It's not that good tonight, man. I'm sorry. It's Sunday. I tried hard, and I tried too hard, and I got too close to the sun, and I got burned. No, I don't know. Thanks, Tony. I appreciate this. Thank you very much. Mucho gusto, Generoso, a continuing supporter of Goof On. Tony McClear. Thanks, man. Hey, there he is. Super sticker. All right, $2 super sticker. Let's see what it is. From Lantonio, it is the thank you heart. Thanks. You're welcome. And you definitely are a continuing supporter of Goof On. Good friend of the show. Thanks, Lantonio. Lantonio. Come on. No, I'm kidding. Just busting your balls there, Rubberneck. What are you being, silly? What are you, silly? Don't call me stupid. Remember that? Remember that? All right, let's get back to this.
Things laid in front of you that we had done, some of them pretty terrible, if you buy it. Would you say that there should be full disclosure, or is this something better kept from the American or the world public?
Well, it's not better kept from the American people because, we're supposed to be the government. We hire these guys, elect them to their positions to take care of business.
Yes, sir.
So nothing is supposed to be kept from us. However, there are other countries. We do have an awful lot of people in the world that just hate us because we're alive. And, if you're concerned about weapons and the proliferation of things of that sort, you do need to keep certain things secret from the rest of the world. However, it's one of the things that I had said initially, go ahead and keep all that stuff secret, but just admit, hey, by the way, a long time ago, we ran into some of these things. This technology is real. There apparently is actual intelligent extraterrestrial life somewhere else. And, we have a few artifacts, and, go ahead and release some stuff to the public. So, look here,
Can't. You can't. How do you make this stuff for the public when you can't even, unless they know how to back engineer it, but what they're afraid of is the power of this, whatever it is. If it gets into the wrong hands, it probably can be weaponized to some degree, and that's something they have to eliminate if they're going to bring this out to the public. Hey, somebody gets one of these little cubes, these energy cubes, free energy for their home, and it's built into the home, maybe it's inside the house, I don't know, whatever, but people steal it. Well, if they're stealing it from the homes that are being built and they take this free energy thing, break it open, and figure out a way to create something that can fly all the way to wherever and just explode. Whatever. People are out there. So what? Maybe it took us 20 years to back engineer it, but maybe with technology today, maybe it'd only take a year. Maybe some kid in his basement. Who knows? I don't think they can give it to the public yet because they don't know its full potential, or they know its full potential and definitely can't give it to the public ever. If they announce that they have this stuff, if we've had it for 18 years since the Nimitz, and let's say all those sightings are ours, what are we doing with this technology? Just, showing up in other countries. Hey, I'm a UFO tic-tac looking at your military. Now I'm over here. Now over here. That doesn't seem logical to me. It doesn't. Because apparently everybody in the world, or anybody who has a navy or an army, are seeing these things. They're seeing them. Go back to Vietnam. They had those UFOs follow them around. There's several stories where these guys were in the swamp on their little boat and they got attacked by a couple UFOs. And when they shot at it, I even told the story here, they realized that their own bullets were coming back at them. And they had this shield or some, force field around the UFOs, and then they wound up shooting themselves. Isn't that weird? And I think some of those boats even got damaged by the UFOs shooting something at them, like some sort of beam. In Vietnam, there's several stories out there. We should do a show on Vietnam and UFOs. That's what we're going to do tomorrow, I think. I think we're going to do that tomorrow. That's what I want to do. And then I got something good for tomorrow. Something that'll blow your faces off. I may be the reincarnation of the first American guy who was noted as being killed in action, and his name was also Richard, who died 9 months before I was born. I used to have these dreams when I was young, don't have them anymore, that I'd be out running away, just like in Forrest Gump when he was running away and he goes, something bit me. Well, I got shot in the back, and in the dream, when I got shot, my back started twitching and burning from the heat of the bullets that were lodged in my back. Well, in the dream, I would wake up because when I woke up in the hospital, my back was twitching and burning, and then I woke up, my back was twitching and it hurt. And I'd wake up and I'd sit up and I'm like, my back's twitching, and then it would stop. But I had that dream like 4 or 5 times in like a week. It was so strong. I mean, I told my parents about it. Mom, I've had this dream 2 times in a row. And she even looked at my back to make sure. That would have been cool if there were bullet hole scars. You know how some of those kids are reincarnated, and they're reincarnated as their, other brother or sister who passed away, and they have the same scars. They even have their memories. Mom, can we go see Aunt Josie? How do you know about Aunt Josie? You never met Aunt Josie. Yeah, I think I have. Doesn't she have black hair, wears glasses, and she's funny? How do you know this? How do you know? You never met Aunt Josie, but I do. I do remember her. And they would say stories like that. And then another time the kid's like, can we go back to, Yellowstone Park? Well, you've never been to Yellowstone. Yeah, we were there. We saw the bears and the this and the that. And then the parents are like, he's having memories of his dead brother. This is crazy. Weird shit like that, man. That keeps you in the business. That'll keep you right here. Yes, ma'am. Hey, you. Why'd you do that? You didn't have to do that. Thank you very much, Lantonio. $10 super dono. It's pure love. The sensation of pure love is just wrapped around me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. No, I really mean it. Thanks a lot. I don't know what I was going to say. How about one of these? Yeah! Oh, Truthology for ufology. Lantonio, continuing supporter of Fun. Ow! Damn it. Ow, I just hurt my back. Ow. Ow, God, that hurt. Holy shit, that hurt. Wow. I'm sore from working out, and my back is just, I worked out too hard, I think. It is so sore. I know. I just had to let everybody know I'm working out. Yeah, that's why I said it. Who am I, Gorilla Gamer? All right, here we go.
I sent that email.
No kidding.
No, we got to totally.
Did I just say that out loud? I'm sorry.
That, huh?
Sorry,
Yeah.
Gigi.
Okay. At any rate, now that you're back or you're in New Mexico, you feel like you're doing good work in your area once again.
Yeah, and it's I guess it's just a different mindset, and also the immediate area that I live in. Moving up isolated in in the mountains in the middle of a forest, and on a lot of acres of land, and is different than living right in the middle of Las Vegas and typically in town. So it's just it's a freer environment, and I'm building my own research lab here, and
of hydrogen.
Replace gasoline pumps with hydrogen pumps and sell you the fuel again.
All right, let's get back to refuting this. In other words, no matter how it works, Bob, and it sounds like you're almost more on the negative than the positive side of this, but I mean, no matter how it works, aren't conventional fuels going to have to be used in copious amounts to produce these cylinders of
That's what it felt like.
hydrogen?
Still hurts.
No, I don't.
How do you
The system
figure?
that I came up with, first of all, converts a conventional car to burn hydrogen conventionally.
And
no fuel
with
cell.
how much cost?
Well, let me get to that in a second.
All right.
The actual conversion is not that difficult, not that terribly expensive. I have not used any energy producing any of the hydrogen that I make as far as power off the grid, fossil fuels, or whatnot. Hydrogen is easily electrolyzed by water. If you need to prove it to yourself, take a 12-volt battery, put both wires in the water, add a pinch of salt, and you'll see bubbles coming off of one side. Well, some off the other, too.
That ought to be hydrogen.
Right. Anyway, it's easily produced, and it can be produced...
All right. And there's a reason why they don't make those cars. They should, right? I heard that it was very difficult for them to not explode if they got hit. And the engine got, or the hydrogen cell got broken up or something, that it would be a massive explosion. That was the reason I remember hearing why we can't have hydrogen-based, water-based cars, because of, I guess, the technology behind it wasn't safe. So a gas tank filled with flammable liquid on the bottom of a car, usually in the back end, you get hit from the rear, it doesn't explode. They could make that somewhere and put it in the center of the car, just like they did the Fiero. That engine was centered in the center of the car, wasn't it? There, you could use the trunk and the hood for your luggage and shit. Yeah, I had a friend who had a Fiero. Those things were cool. It was one of the few cars that had speakers in the headset. I liked the Fiero. Boy, was it a shit car, though. It was shit. Yeah. So yesterday somebody put out a tweet. Rich, take your shirt off. And I just got a message saying, Rich, are you going to take your shirt off tonight? I would for $1,000. $1,000, I would do it. That's it. I don't want to take my shirt off yet. And maybe we'll take it off next month. But I don't think I should strip down. You think that's going to give me subs? If I knew that would give me subscribers, I would do it. Sheesh. And I've got a nice rack. But it's not going to be free. Nope. Nope. I'm not some cheap whore. I'm not just going to show my boobs. And if I take off my shirt, can I sit here or do I have to get up and, all those questions have to be answered. I don't think we need to have Rich Giordano taking his shirt off. Take my shirt off. Imagine if that was said to one of the girls on their shows. Right? What do you think I am? I'm not going to show my boobs. Oh, but I can. Rich, take your shirt off. That person didn't even get blocked. I know, it shouldn't be different. It should be the same type of feeling if I'm showing my breasts. But I don't get subs or views off of me showing my tits. So $1,000 would do it though. Just 1,000. How much for the pants? 50 grand. 50 would do it. Yeah, 50 grand. But then I'd have to quit. The show would be over. I'd lose the channel because I showed my schlong on the show. So I'd need that 50 grand to regroup for a year or two. I'm not expensive. 50 grand, you know how much that would be awesome. I would do it for 50. Kick me off, I don't care. I just made 50 grand. It would have to be in my account first. That's the way that works. All right, Art Bell. Yeah, this is the other interview he did with Bob. Here it is. This is good. Bob, you're a physicist, right? Well, I wasn't one.
Yeah, I know. Take me back to way before S4 and before Area 51 and all the rest of it, and just tell me something about yourself. Good. I mean, how did you get interested in the things you're interested in that eventuated in your getting that job? How did you get to be who you are?
Well, I wonder how far I should go back. I guess at one point...
It would be not Magic Mike, it would be Magic
Mexico
Dick.
In the early 80s.
My name's Rich.
And that was to take on a job with Los Alamos National Lab.
What kind of work?
Well, that was physics. That was... Oh, it was fantastic. It was a lot of fun working there. A very strange town to live in, but I enjoyed it quite a bit.
How long were you with them, with Los Alamos?
Los Alamos, I believe I was there only a couple years before I realized that, I could make a lot more money on my own just operating as a contractor and consulting for the lab as opposed to working for them.
Mm-hmm. That happens a lot.
Oh, and it was certainly worth doing. So I left the lab and at that time started Lazar Energy Systems. and we developed, designed, and repaired radiation detection equipment.
Radiation detection equipment.
Specifically, alpha radiation detection, which is the type of
snail tracks
particles given off by plutonium. And Los Alamos making bombs and that sort of thing has a lot of plutonium laying around, so they want to be able to detect even minute particles that may cling to clothing, so on and so
So, in
forth.
other words, this was a sort of a protective detective.
Can you imagine if we were allowed to just do whatever we wanted? I remember when, what is it called? Hangouts. Remember the Hangouts? On Halloween one night, we did a show. I don't know if any of you were here when I was getting, the girls were flashing on that. That was a long time ago. Yeah. This one girl named, you know her, Tessa. She did it. Yeah. She showed her boobs. And one of the other girls did too, it was really, wow. I was surprised she would let anybody see those. But I was like, whoa, hey, because we all wore costumes. You know, we had a costume party and everything. And one of the girls, that girl showed up as Elvira. And she had big boobs. And then she just went like that and then put them back on. And I'm like, well, thank you for that. Wasn't my type, but hey, a boob's a boob. But a guy doing that? Who cares? I've got 85% male, 15% female. I wouldn't do that. I would ruin, it would be a bad move. Exactly, John. It would be a bad move. No place for nips in UFOs. Nipsey Russell UFOs. There is no place for it. There is, though. That's the whole thing. Like, I want to get together with, like, all you people, and then we go out and, nah, that wouldn't work. Do a CE5, but we would call it the CE69. I don't know, man. I'm just being a guy. Come one, come all, come everyone. All right, want to see a UFO? All right, let's do this. Oh, I got to show you this. What was I just doing? Yeah, we're not doing. I don't want to listen to Bob Lazar anymore either. Check this out. This is so funny. This is how you know when people really believe your bullshit. Did you see this? Jeremy Corbell, somebody drew this. Not a bad drawing. It's actually really good. I think it was from a guy named Nate. Nate Michaels. Spent my morning sketching and listening to Corbell on Joe Rogan. Sharpie markers on 8x10 toned paper. Really good, actually. It's the only reason I'm showing it. If it wasn't good, I wouldn't show it. It looks really good. God, that's talent. I really wish I had just an inkling of that talent. I wish I had an inkling of it. Wow. I see that Project Unity hit 20,000 subscribers. I don't know how this channel did what it did in the last month. It went from getting, very little activity to a lot of activity. And over 50,000 views on the, they posted the Gary Nolan interview, the whole thing. And I actually emailed Project Unity. I believe his name is Jason. I just emailed him to ask him how he got permission to play that without having any problems with YouTube. It's just weird how some people are allowed to play some things and some aren't. That's all. I don't like it. It's weird. Rules for me, but not for thee. All right, what's this? Oh, boy. Here's a tweet. Oh, this is Ryan Graves. Yeah, let me play this clip of Ryan Graves when he was on Lex Friedman show? That guy sounds like he's stoned the entire night. Every interview, this guy sounds baked. Not Ryan Graves, but the guy, the interview, Lex, he sounds baked.
This with a squadron mate earlier today about how, I certainly wouldn't be talking with Lex today if I ended up going to test pilot school.
Why is that?
I never would have.
So Ryan Graves is starting to lose his hair, ladies. Get him before he loses it. I know some of you think he's the hottest thing since sliced breadsticks.
Maybe recklessness, I don't know, but the willingness to have a conversation about UAP while I was, that led me to the decision to get out once I went there, and it kind of enabled me to talk about UAP more publicly. And if I stayed in the Navy, then I don't think that would have happened. I wouldn't have been able to if I went that route.
Well, as a small tangent, do you hope to travel to Mars one day? Do you think you'll step foot on Mars one day?
If you asked me that 5 years ago, I would have said, yes, I want to. In fact, I would like to die on Mars. Now I have some hesitations, and I have some hesitations because I'm hopeful and I'm optimistic. And I think that, we are truly like on the brink of a very wide technological revolution that's going to kind of move us how we used to move information and data in this last century. We're going to be manipulating and managing matter in that next century. And so,
oh, that's a big statement. That's a big statement. He doesn't want to go to Mars yet, but he knows that he thinks he knows that there's technological advancement that's going to happen. Not moving data, but moving things, right? Isn't that what he said, pretty much?
Manipulating and managing matter in that next century.
Yeah, manipulating matter. We'll be able to manipulate matter like we manipulate data. What does that mean? Is that like pressing a button, and if you want a cheeseburger, it puts out a cheeseburger for you? Or is manipulating matter meaning we can lift 50-ton blocks with the push of a button? That to me is manipulating matter. That type of technology would be very well received by the public. Imagine how easy it would be to build a house, a skyscraper, anything, if you can just get it in this field and manipulate it and move it. Does he mean liquefying rock or liquefying metals or doing something with sand? I mean, there's so many ways you can manipulate matter. Does he mean make it disappear, make it reappear? We already have stealth technology. We're not even researching doing anything with stealth technology, we learned. Stealth technology is no longer a thing that we need to worry about. I think that was something somebody said yesterday, that we're that far advanced in the technology of cloaking our ships and making them invisible to radar, but we haven't beaten anybody yet with hypersonic speeds. China has I don't know who said that, but China's definitely killing us when it comes to drone technology and that hypersonic technology. But manipulating stuff, I want to hear the rest of that.
So I think our reach as humans are going to get a lot wider, a lot faster than people may realize, or at least.
Wait, are you getting like super ambitious beyond Mars? Is that what you're saying?
Well, I mean,
like Mars seems kind of boring. I want to go beyond that. Is that what? Do you mean the reach of humanity across all kinds of technologies, or do you mean literally across space?
Across space, So, we're going to be, I think that as artificial intelligence and machine learning start broaching further into the topic of science, or the area of science, and we start working through new physics, we start working through, or I should say, past the Einsteinian frameworks, as we kind of get a better idea of what space-time is or isn't. We may find answers that we didn't know that we were looking for, and we may have more opportunity. And I'm not saying this is something I'm betting the farm on, of course, but maybe that's a road I want to explore on Earth instead of on Mars. Maybe there's technology that can be brought to bear with new science and harder engineering that is a road that doesn't go past Mars to get outside the solar system.
I don't know, man. Not really into it. Ryan Graves doesn't seem like somebody I need to be focusing on, but I just wanted to hear what he had to say. Because him and his boys, his family, as he calls it, saw UFOs almost every day for 2 years, but yet nobody has a picture of it. Nobody. All those pilots. Supposedly, I was listening to that Joe Rogan podcast with Corbell. He said there's 70 witnesses during the Nimitz incident. If there are, where are they? Why aren't they talking? That's all I want to know. Why? Why aren't they coming forward? Don't they understand? Don't they get it? If they come out and talk about this stuff, it would be more believable if 50 people were talking about it and all had the same story. Don't you think? But yet we've got a few people and that's it. Just a few. Compared to what's out there, it's not right. No, it's not right. Yeah, we got a lot more to talk about, so we'll keep going. Huh? Yeah, I gotta leave in a few minutes. What is this? Oh, well, she's not here, so I'm not going to talk about it. Yeah, I noticed that 4 people have bailed on Gufon that were supposed friends. Yeah, it happens continuously here. I didn't do anything. But I know they're talking behind the scenes. It's so cute. Go ahead. Do your thing. Don't come around here then. I got to show this before we go. This was on Think Tank on Twitter. If you don't know about Think Tank, you should. The guy's got a lot of interesting videos he brings up. It's like this one. Take a look at this. This clip best shows the invisibility craft dropping off the other UFO. Thanks to Mick West for enhancing this. Here we go. So one UFO dropped off another one, apparently. What? That looks so fake. Are you kidding me? That doesn't look real. I don't know. Why does it bubble up over here? What's the bubbling up shit? Watch. What happens above his head? What is that? This thing right here. It's moving, the whole thing. And then it bloop, it takes a poop. It just poops out one of the UFOs. Watch. Boop. 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 Just spitting it out. I don't know where this video came from, but it looks real, but it looks real fake too. I don't know. I don't like it. Anybody ever seen that before? I don't know. Hologram? Maybe. Charlene Sampson? Pretty kitty. I know, right? It's weird. It is. It's weird. Thank you for coming over and taking a peek at the show, Charlene. King Edward, thank you for your time tonight. Coralann's not here. Yeah, she's not here tonight. She might be back tomorrow, but we'll find out. All right, that's it for tonight. We're going to get out of here. Sorry about that. So I got the song that's going to be the new. It's not rock and roll or anything. It's one that I made. And I think it'll fit in with what we do here, but I'll play it for a second. Tell me if you hate it, if you don't like it. When I put I'm redoing it. I already made one and I didn't use it. I don't know if you like this song, but it fits in perfect with what we do if you listen to it. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out tonight on Goof On. Moderators and super chatters, excellent. Thank you for your time and for your support. And newcomers and veterans, thank you too. Thanks for keeping the show alive and well on a Sunday night. Thank you for hanging out. Goof On University. Short class today. But we'll be back tomorrow night at 7 p.m. What are we? You know what we are. I don't have to do anything but this. We'll be back. We are Truthology for Ufology. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a great rest of your night. There's gonna be no apology to nobody. I'm not gonna change. He's not gonna change. Everybody gonna stay the same. Fuck ufology.